Today, I'm going to be talking about how trauma shaped my life and how I feel like it weirdly enough helped me become a better person. Now, for any new subscribers that I have some story times. And I mean, you can look at my past videos and just the stuff that I've gone through, from abuse to sexual assault to being homeless. I have been through a lot of DNA altering experiences that just ultimately altered how I perceive the world. With this alteration, I feel like I can come off as weird sometimes. Like, people may not be open to how I view certain things and how much grace I give to certain people. Even my best friend will just say, like, girl, like, you forgive people that do not deserve to be forgiven. And honestly, that is because of my trauma. And I would like to give a full disclosure, like, this is not me saying that this is the correct way to go about things. I am merely 23. I have a lot of life left to live and a lot of things that I'm currently unlearning. And I know the more that I develop into the woman that I want to become, like, the things that I'm doing now or the mindsets that I have now won't necessarily be the mindsets that I'll have in the future. So I would like to preface with that. The first thing that trauma altered was how I view conflict. Whenever my mom would get mad or whenever someone would get mad at me, I would just ask myself, like, what did I do wrong? I was never the person to kind of like blame somebody else, and even if I did blame someone else, I would ultimately always bring it back to myself. I'm someone that takes responsibility for my actions, even if something is not necessarily my fault. So let's say I get into like a falling out with somebody, and when I get home, I will literally think back to what built up to me falling out with somebody. Like, was it something that I said? Was it the way that I said it? Did I procrastinate when it came to me expressing myself? Like, what are things that I did up to this moment that could have made this moment a lot smoother? And this can be toxic in a lot of situations, especially if you, again, are a people pleaser. It's really hard if it becomes hard if you do not hold the other person accountable and you only blame yourself, and you can easily fall into people gaslighting you if you do not hold someone else accountable, or if you only hold yourself accountable. It takes two people to argue, so those two people need to be held accountable. How did I play a part in this happening? Moments where you're like, even if I did everything right, I feel like this still would have happened. It leaves me with a calmer sense of mind of like, okay, I know that I did what I needed to do, and I think that helps me feel a lot more secure in myself and a lot of my decision making skills, because I know that when I make a bad decision or when something bad happens, my first thing isn't to directly blame someone else. My first thing is, okay, I take responsibility. In my head, I'm like, okay, I can see how I made them mad, or I can see how when I said this or when I did this, it triggered them to say this and do things. So that also made me give more grace to other people and give more grace to myself, because I know I'm not perfect, so why would anyone else around me be perfect? That goes into my next topic, which is it's hard for me to see people as bad people. For me to see both sides of the story, I have to innately believe that no one is inherently evil or no one is inherently bad. I believe that people do bad things, but like, there's no bad people unless you're like a serial killer. But even with serial killers, like, there's things in life that leads people to do certain things, whether it is like someone's mental health going unchecked, someone experiencing SA, someone experiencing the R word, or like, you know, just a whole bunch of traumatic situations that could lead someone down a life of something else. Now, I'm not saying that this is the healthiest way to think about life, y'all. Please do not take what I'm saying and run with it. This is just how my brain works because of trauma. If I don't see you as a bad person, I won't hold a grudge, because I feel like when someone pisses us off or when someone does us dirty, it's very easy for us to make this person a villain in our stories. There's so many people that are walking around as victims because they have a personal villain. Let's say your elementary teacher said that you wasn't gonna make it. Your dad abandoned you. Your mom abused you. Like, there's so many people in your story that actively did harm to you, and now these people are villains. Now, the entire plot of your story is to prove these people wrong, and you are basing everything that you're doing to prove these people wrong. And that is what happens when you villainize someone else. You give them a bigger character arc in your story than what needs to be. Are we going up and talking to the people about what they did and how it made us feel? A lot of times we can be really passive aggressive, especially when it comes to our villains in our story arcs, because if you think about it, the hero talks to the villain like once or twice. Like, once the villain does something bad, the hero is like, okay, now I gotta take you down. Like, there's little to no dialogue with the villain. I'm not saying that the villain is not a person that does bad things. I'm not saying that the villain is not toxic, but you are giving them way too much relevance. Because when I had villains in my story, every time someone mentioned their name, I would be pissed off. Anytime I would see them, I would be pissed off. Like, their whole existence is for me to defeat them as the hero. Right? So once I took them off of that pedestal, once I humanized them, once I said, okay, how could I be a villain in their story? How could I, reverse the roles and understand where they're coming from? Once I did that, it leveled the playing field, and I didn't see this person as the big bad wolf anymore. I didn't see this person as someone that I had to prove wrong. It wasn't my job. It was just someone that pissed me off for a day, and then I talked shit about it, and then I got over it. Or I journaled about it, and then I got over it. I ranted to my friend about it, and then I got over it. You do not need an arch nemesis. Even if they do something annoying to you, you see them as a fly. You see them as an annoying toddler. Like, you again? Like, when that one side character comes in and just kind of makes a cameo and everyone just kind of brushes them off like, dude, you won't even make it to the next episode. Who are you? Your life is like a whole season. If someone comes in and then they piss you off, why do we need 3 episodes about how you're pissed off about a side character? Let's be fucking for real. All you need is 1 episode, make a weird face and be like, oh, that was a weird thing to say. And then go on with the main story arc. Please, I can, when I say I can go on about this, because we be villainizing people for no reason. And the last one, this is to end this video, is I wish healing on my enemies. I wish healing on my villains. Pray for the people that curse you. Wish healing on everyone, because the healing journey is not easy. It's not an easy thing, because once you go on a healing journey, you are forced to realize that the things that you were doing were not only hurting you, but were hurting the people around you. And you become privy and sensitive to the fact that, oh wow, I hurt a lot of people. I hurt and I brought a lot of people pain. So yeah, that's how it makes, because I do not get any pleasure from people feeling pain. And if I do get pleasure, it doesn't last. Pray for the people that wish you wrong, because y'all don't know, people can be going through mental stuff. You don't know what that person has seen. You don't know what that person has heard, experienced, lived through. Just pray for your neighbor, because we genuinely do not know what's going on in other people's lives. So the more that we give people grace, the less likely we'll be affected if someone like says or does something stupid. Like, will it piss you off? Yeah, I'm not saying that you're not gonna feel anything, but it won't, like, you won't have this, again, 3-day story arc about a side character stepping on your shoe. Now, again, take what you may from this video. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that this is the right way to go about things. I'm saying that this is how trauma shaped me. And our body's job and our mind's job is to protect us by any means necessary. So this is how I think to protect myself. This is how I think to make sure that my life on earth is as seamless and as peaceful as possible. These are the mindset shifts that I go through. Also, like, I've also been to therapy, so these are the things, some of the things that I have, like some of the mindset shifts that I have, is also thanks to a medical professional or like self-help videos. And like, this has just completely changed the way that I see other people and how I see myself. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more of me on your timeline. Bye.